Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Chris Colgan, with another driving tour. Today we are checking out Manassas, Virginia, and right now I'm on Interstate 66, heading from the Haymarket area, and I'm going eastbound towards Manassas. Now, one thing I want you to know as this video starts off, Manassas is huge. You've got a couple different zip codes and areas, right? So you also have Manassas City, which is 20110. Then you have Manassas Park, which is 20111. And then you have Prince William, Manassas, which is several different zip codes. So right now where I'm at, or I'm going to be heading towards, is going to be Prince William, Manassas, and that is where the Manassas battlefield is at. Now, if you were going to live in Manassas, a lot of people who live in Manassas either work at companies like Micron or maybe Lockheed Martin or other companies, you know, that are in Old Town or Manassas Airport. There is no metro. You do have the VRE station though. That's they have a couple different stops, which is really popular. But this is a really good road to commute on, getting into DC or Reston, Fairfax area, going on Interstate 66. So let's keep heading. The first place we're gonna go is the historic Manassas battlefield, so let's make our way there. All right, so I am about to get off the Manassas exit here. To my left over here, there's a huge shopping center. There used to be a Regal Cinema here, and then obviously since the movie industry's had some problems, they tore that down. They're going to be building some brand new townhomes over there. And by the way, we can help you with new construction. We work deals with them all of the time. So now I'm getting off the 234 exit North Business, and I'm not heading towards Washington, DC. So here I can go right, and I would go towards 234 in Manassas, head towards the Manassas Mall, the Sudley area, but we're gonna hang a left right here, and we're gonna go to the Manassas battlefield. Now, what's really cool that's over here as well is going to be Northern Virginia Community College. And we have one of the biggest community college systems in the country. My grandfather, who was a senator, he was a big advocate for Northern Virginia Community College. So the building that I actually went to school there, because I went there, actually is called Colgan Hall. So they have a painting of my grandfather in there. So I used to tell people that if something happened to the building, I'd run in there and save it. So community college system is really good. So if you've got kids, college age kids, they go there for 2 years, then they can get into a college like UVA or Tech, and you save a bunch of money, or JMU. So that's really cool. So let's talk about the housing over here, right? So there's a Sudley neighborhood and another neighborhood called Westgate of Lowman. That's kind of like the original 1960s Manassas, when this really became a DC suburb. That's where my grandparents originally moved when my family moved here to Manassas. Now you can get in there. A lot of those homes have been fixed up. It's not like Vienna or McLean where people tear things down and build mansions, but a lot of those homes are fixed up. They're gonna go anywhere from $500,000 to $600,000. Maybe you can get one that needs a lot of work for around like $400,000 to $500,000 as well. So those I actually like, because you're only like 1 mile away from 66. You're close to a ton of shopping. And if you've heard of Bristow, Virginia, Manassas and Bristow have pretty much touched at this point, because it's just getting so much bigger. So now we're heading over towards the Manassas battlefield. This is a really big landmark here. So we get a lot of visitors, a lot of tourists come through this area, really beautiful park. So obviously there'll never be any building here. It's owned by the US government, obviously. So I'm gonna pull over to their main building. And just one other quick thing, if I kept going about another mile on this road and I hung a right, I would hit Interstate 29. And about 4 miles, I would actually be at Centerville, Virginia, and inside Fairfax County. And so if you've ever heard, now I'm not the biggest Civil War guy. I'm more of a World War II, if I can even talk, guy. But there was a big battle of Bull Run here. Huge Civil War battle, and they took over this lady's farm, and her original house is there. And if you walk around, I mean, you can see there's already a bunch of tourists here. If you walk around here, they're gonna have reenactors walking around on the weekends. They have the original museum over there as well. And let me just jump out really quick, because I really wanna show this to you guys and kind of give you a better perspective. All right, so I just got out of my truck. I am here at the battlefield. Let's take a look, right? So right over here, they have some Civil War cannons set up, and then you can just see how beautiful this land is here. Tons of tourists. You've got the museum over there as well. And then there's just a bunch of walking tours going on right now. And then right over there is a huge statue of Stonewall Jackson. And that's actually like where the South was. And then the North was over, I'll kind of point over the other side of that hill over there during the Civil War. And there's actually another house down there called the Stone House. It's a big Manassas historic emblem where you see that was used as a hospital. So you see people taking their pictures, all kinds of tourists. You can hike, you can do whatever here. It's obviously federal land, so you can't go walking around hunting or anything. But this is what Manassas was originally known for, right? It was the battle, the Civil War battle, one of the big turning points of the war. Now, if you're a history buff, you're gonna be like, wow, Chris, my God, that was amazing. Or you're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, who cares? But yeah, that's usually what happens when I have friends and stuff come out here. They're like, oh my God, that's the Manassas battlefield. Or they're just like, what is that again? So, and you can see they got the bus lanes here, because there is a lot of tourists that come. There's a crazy story. One time, I forgot what anniversary it was, but there was a big anniversary, and they had 100,000 reenactors come. They marched all up to Old Town Manassas. It was like 110 degrees outside, and it lightning. It ended up being a big fiasco, and all these people were like, got overheated. It was crazy, but they had a huge Civil War reenactment here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go back down towards 234. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of different spots because Manassas is so huge, right? It's hard to show you everything, but I'm gonna show you as much as I can, all right, guys? All right, so now we're back in Manassas. We're already in Manassas. It's only about a 1 mile drive here, but you can see how convenient Manassas is. So I'm actually going underneath Interstate 66. You would be about 27 miles from Washington, D.C. This can kind of get a little trafficy, backed up right here. This is where you would go off, like the main 234 area. Like this just goes straight up to Old Town Manassas, but there's gonna be a lot of traffic, but they've done a lot of building over here, so I'm actually going to want to hang a right because I just want to show you some newer subdivisions. There's a lot of hotels, restaurants over here, so you can see the sign Manassas Museum 4.5 miles, so that's about as far away as Old Town is. So this right here was a lot older. They've just put in some brand new roads. Right over here, actually, my sister owns a business named Stage Door Dance Studio, but I'm going to take you guys up here and just show you some newer housing and then some different areas of Manassas. All right, so now I'm making a left on Ashton Avenue. This is Ballsford Road. This road right here goes right up to Gainesville, Bristow. It's all kinds of data centers, all kinds of different things. You can hit the 234 bypass, but you can see a couple years ago, Dreamfinder Homes built some newer townhomes here. They're probably around like 600,000-700,000 though. Those are really huge townhomes. This is gonna be like the Ballsford area, the 20109 area. You can get some like cheaper condos, maybe for like 250 to 300. Not many amenities, but you are gonna be close to everything. What I would do if I was a first-time home buyer, you might wanna start in Manassas, buy a condo, and then potentially keep it as like a rental property. That might be one thing you want to do. But this road right here, this Ashton, this is going to cut through so you don't have to sit through all that traffic on 234. If I was to take a right here, there's a brand new huge neighborhood right over there as well. So they've let a lot of brand new building come in here over to Manassas as well. And this 20109 side is nice. Like it's like I said, you've got the original, you've got places to shop, the Best Buy, all of those type of places. But I'm gonna show you a cool thing because this really developed the last few decades, like a decade or so. And where there's a road up here called Sudley Manor, and if I was to take a right, if you end up going on Google Maps, you're gonna see where you can go right up that Sudley Manor and you can end up in Bristow, Virginia, or where Jiffy Lube Live is, the concert venue as well. So you can cut through right there. So a lot of people will cut through there. And then there's Route 234 bypass, which actually goes all the way, and my grandfather had something to do with that one as well. He helped get it extended. That goes all the way to Interstate 95. I mean, that's a little bit of a drive, a lot of traffic, but so there's a lot of different like highways you can take, a lot of different routes you can take. Now, right over to my right, there's a neighborhood called Paradise, townhomes built in like the 90s. They're gonna be around like 400 to 500,000, a little bit older. So that's an option. There's another great condo community called Stratford Condos that I really like. They're about 300. I used to own one in there as a rental. Those are really nice as well. And so right up here, you can see there's a lot of development going on. So you've got like Freddy's, fast food, you've got the Costco, all kinds of medical business, Sudley Manor Place shopping center. So if I was to take a right here, I would end up in Bristow, Virginia. And I would go down that Sudley Manor, or you could hit Sudley Manor and you can go that way and go towards Two Silos or all the other great things, attractions we have here. But I'm gonna hang a left and get back onto that 234, but I wanted to just show you guys this cut through right here and just how big Manassas truly is. And like right over here, like I said, a bunch of brand new medical buildings. You've got like brand new car washes over here. You've got Bull Run Plaza at the back behind me, which is an absolutely huge shopping center. And then we have quote unquote the only like tower around here called Sully Tower. I don't even know how many stories that is, but there's a tower there as well. But like the Costco there is super popular. They're pretty much popular everywhere, but let's keep going and I'm gonna keep showing you guys around beautiful Manassas. All right, so right over here, Bull Run Plaza to my left, you've got the Costco, all kinds of brand new shopping over here as well. So I would say average sales price, Manassas is probably gonna be the most affordable, or Woodbridge, in all of Northern Virginia, unless you get really further out in the suburbs. Sometimes Manassas gets a bad rap. I don't really know why. Some of the schools can be older, like the school that my parents went to is still open, you know, stuff like that. But the housing, there was some really nice housing, especially over in the 20112 zip code. You know, you're talking like houses for a couple $1,000,000 with land, and Manassas is close to Clifton and all of that. And you can see just from me driving around, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Walgreens, I mean, pretty much anything and everything. And there's something cool that I'm gonna show you guys as well, because the Manassas Mall, which, my God, has been terrible for the last however decades, they just approved, the county did, that they're gonna be revamping that whole area. Now, it's gonna take a while, but they're gonna have tons of new shopping, dining places, all kinds of apartments, housing, and the mall is gonna get revamped. So I think that's gonna be a really good spot area like to get in over here, because you're gonna have that brand new mall area, the Manassas Mall, and that's gonna be like really big, you know, 10 years down the road, and that's gonna be close to a lot of these other areas. Now you can also go left on this Loman Drive, and that will take you over to that Sudley and Westgate area, and you can ride that over to Manassas Park, Virginia as well, or the 28 side, and that's a little bit closer to Centerville. But on my left, there was a grocery store here, and they're putting in a huge, I guess it is open now, a huge One Life fitness gym, and the owner of the Commanders, Josh Harris, he owns One Life. So obviously those are always gonna be super nice, but that was a really popular announcement. So this right here is like totally revamped shopping center. You've got the One Life gym, you've got Panera, pretty much everything. Brand new townhomes going in behind it. So there's a ton of building going on. You've got the Loman Village neighborhood going in over there as well. And so coming up here, I'm gonna show you guys the left. This is kind of like a little bit of the older area of Manassas, like neighborhoods like Iron Gate or on that. There's some new housing around it. To my right, this right here, this farm, I don't even know how this person's held out. It has been like empty for years, but it's gonna be part of this mall expansion. So coming up on my right will actually be the Manassas Mall, which is going to be totally, like I said, revamped, and I think that's going to be huge for pricing, and they've got some good stuff there. And then to the left, you're going to see some more shopping centers, more places to actually, more like newer townhome living. And then right to my right over here would be Unity Reed High School. But let's keep going. I'm gonna take you guys right up through Old Town Manassas, and then we're gonna head up the 234 bypass. I'm gonna show you guys as much as I can in this video, but over to my left, you can see there's a brand new townhouse subdivision over there as well. All right, now we're heading into the city of Manassas, which is like its own jurisdiction. But right here to my right is going to be Prince William Hospital. They have done so much additions to this. By the way, I just want to mention, you can see all kinds of buses run around. There's all kinds of bus service. They have made this hospital huge. It's a UVA health hospital. I mean, this place, it was literally just one building maybe 15 years ago, and now it's a huge hospital complex. A lot of people work there. And hey, maybe you watching this video might be end up working over there as well. That's just a huge hospital for sure. And by the way, if you are thinking about buying a home, that's why I do these tours. You can tell how much I know the area, how much I know Manassas, Northern Virginia, Fairfax, Loudoun, Culpeper, Front Royal. What I usually do is, hey, let's jump on a call together. We can go through a Zoom. Me and my team would love to help you. Just shoot me an email anytime, info@colganteam.com. So cool things about Manassas, right? So right over here, we're heading towards Old Town Manassas. That area, they've really revamped. That's also where the courthouse is for all of Prince William County. You've got like a lot of historic charm, historic buildings going on over there. That was part of the Civil War as well. That area near Liberia Avenue has like really grown, and you can just see like a lot of this stuff is just like getting, you know, it's been torn down and like rebuilt. And right here to my right, this is actually where I went to middle school, and the county just bought this, and they're going to be tearing all of this down to put up like a park and a new fire station. So there's a lot going on around this area, and this is still kind of like a lot of like medical offices, things like that. But I want to hang a right here because we can kind of hit up Old Town Manassas. But this is a really cool street. There's all kinds of like nicer houses, just like things going on as well as far as housing. But we're gonna hit up, when we hit up Old Town, you'll kind of see how they've revamped this into more like stackable townhomes. But then you might see the Civil War era house, you know, that's been revamped or something like that. So there's like all kinds of different housing. So houses like these are probably going to cost you $600,000-700,000, depending on the size, depending on what type of upgrades they have done to them. I mean, I've sold 1,800 mansions in Old Town Manassas that people just did unbelievable touches to, you know, brand new teardowns. Like right over here is one that people have revamped as well. I just closed on a single house for $650 that was just 2 levels with a big, huge backyard. But a lot of charm over here. Back here, like just like older houses, but they're huge. Tons of like, there's no HOA, anything like that. But like I said, they can get a little pricey, $600,000-700,000. You put these houses in Fairfax, they're 1.3 million. All day long. And then right up here, All Saints Catholic Church, that's a huge church as well. They have a ton of land over here. And then a really good restaurant called City Tavern. I'm kind of laughing because like that's, my grandfather passed away many years ago. That's a place that he liked to go all the time, but since they've gotten new ownership. So right here, now I'm gonna take a left. I'm at Center Street, and we're gonna head into Old Town Manassas. And right here, what I want to show you guys is like, you can see this is all brand new housing, brand new like stackable condo, townhomes as well. If I was to go right, I would head towards Wellington Road, and that would actually take me near the 234 bypass. And we're gonna end up hitting it as we go along, but that's actually where Micron is gonna be. So Micron is one of the biggest employers here, and obviously Lockheed Martin is over there as well. And then Micron's putting in a huge expansion. And then one of the things that I think Manassas is going to be really getting big for is eventually Avporch, which is a great company, teamed up with the city, and they're gonna be getting commercial flights coming out of there. And Aurora Flight Services is based over there as well. You might be working for them. So I've sold a lot of their people houses. So just keep that in mind. I mean, there's a lot of upside to buying in Manassas. And like right now, we're pulling up into Old Town Manassas. And to the left is the courthouse. That's where all the courthouse is, like, you know, the jail, whatever. To the right is Harley Davidson dealership. But this is really cool. So as I get in here, they have one of the biggest 4th of July spectaculars like in all of Virginia. And then the first Friday of every month, they shut down all the streets. They have bands come in, all the local restaurants are open. People are walking around having a drink, watching the bands play, having a good time. That's also like really popular as well. But you can see like they've done a good job of like keeping the historic charm as well as bringing in some new stuff. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to keep in mind, especially if you're a commuter, they have a big parking garage here, and then we have the VRE train. So for about like $350 a month, you can ride that VRE train and basically go right into the Pentagon, DC, down into downtown DC, head up Union Station or whatever, and you can go you know, pretty much anywhere, or you can connect it with the metro. So that is like really convenient. I think it's about $300 a month for a monthly pass. A lot of my clients end up using the VRE system, and then it ends up going out towards Manassas Airport. So a lot of people that live in Gainesville, Haymarket, that's where they catch it, by the Manassas Airport. So you can see all the original buildings. And there's really cool, like there's an old school toy store, and like they you know, painted on there like the butterflies, welcome to Manassas. So like I said, this is Manassas City. It's been used in movies before. Stephen Stills, I don't even know how I remember that band or that guy's name. He named one of his albums Manassas, and like the cover, he's just hanging out here at the Manassas Railroad Station. Then of course you've got Freedom Museum, Manassas Museum, just all kinds of different places to check out. So if you were like looking on Zillow, this would be 20110, or I'd hope you'd go to colganteam.com, but Zillow 20110, that's actually, so let's take a right, like I'll show you guys the original train station. The only thing with Manassas City, they have limited amounts of schools and they're a little bit older. Okay, so right here, I'll show you guys. Let me jump out and I'm gonna show you guys something cool. Look, you guys got me getting out of my car here. All right, so right here, this is really like kind of like the happening spot. So you can kind of see you've got the Welcome Center sign with all the information. Right here in the winter, this is actually an ice skating rink. So there's all kinds of events going on right now. Right now they'll have like concerts, things like that. Then you see some of the original train over there. And then right there is the Manassas Railroad Station. You've got people walking around everywhere. So just a really charming town. You've got some new apartments right there. CJ Finn's, really nice restaurant. And then right down there, you've got Center Street, downtown Manassas. All right, guys, come on now. Now, how many realtors get out of their car and exercise extra to make a video? Come on now. That's how you know I care about my viewers. And by the way, you better be smashing that subscribe button. The parking here is not that great, but like I said, they do have a parking garage. And coming up here on the weekend, going to a place like CJ Finn's to grab something to eat. A lot of people from Haymarket, Gainesville will come here as well. So right here, historic downtown Manassas Visitor Center. That's the old original train station. You've got people parking to walk over to Old Town. Now we're gonna go over here. I'm just gonna wanna show you guys a little bit more of Old Town Manassas. You've got some Civil War stuff over here as well, Baldwin Park. And then right here is going to be that big parking garage I've mentioned a few times, which is gonna be easily accessible for the VRE train. So if you wanted to take that VRE train, you could definitely do that. Then the Manassas Museum is right there on my right. So what ended up happening is Manassas is huge. Like I said, we're in 20110. We're about to be back over on the Prince William County side of Manassas. I'm not gonna show you guys Manassas Park today. Maybe I'll do another video on that. And I mean, like I said, you can see in front of me some brand new condos, some different development. There's a side called like Liberia side that's gonna be close to like Clifton, Virginia, and like other places like Fairfax. That area has really blown up. I mean, everything is brand new. They're putting in all kinds of different things, and the largest county fair, the Prince William County Fair, actually happens over here as well at the Manassas Fairgrounds. It was kind of funny. They actually had me help them advertise it on my Instagram, and they were like, "Hey man, if you want to come be a VIP and be treated," and I was like, "I'm good," because my daughter's a little too young to that. But look at that, you got all these like historic houses right here. Really nice charm, you know, with the original like porches and all of that. And like right here, I'm still in Old Town Manassas, kind of just like driving around, checking the whole area out, you know, and there's just so much. Like, look at these older houses. I mean, that's what I like about it, right? Like, you can get a new townhouse for $600,000-700,000, or a condo brand new $400,000 or $500,000, or you can go buy one of these small homes for $300,000. I mean, it all is like what your personal like taste is, and there's pretty much like housing options. I think Manassas has got to have the most diverse amount of like housing possible. Now, what happened was a lot of people, as they retire, they moved out towards Gainesville or Haymarket. This is more of like a commuter town, but it still is like super popular. Once you get over to that 20112 side, that's where a lot of the newer schools and growth is going to be happening. But right over here is a really cool townhouse neighborhood called Old Town Station that I've sold a couple in, really small. And then there's a big neighborhood over here called Battery Heights that a lot of people live in as well. That's a really big thing. What I'll tell you about condos that you want to keep in mind is you got to be careful, because the condo fees can really go up, and that will eventually like really catch up to you. It can get expensive, and I believe it happened over here at Battery Heights. But what a lot of people do is if they move over by the Signal Hill part, they'll take Interstate 28 and catch 66 that way. So you can see there's all kinds of new neighborhoods here, like Wellington would be one, this Richmond Estates. But as I pull up over here, I mean, but there's Battery Heights apartments. All kinds of brand new shopping is going on. So if I went left right here, I would end up, this is gonna be Liberia Avenue, I would kind of end up heading towards Interstate 28. And that is actually where a lot of, that's where I could go head up Centerville. But like right now where I'm at in this Liberia area, this is all brand new. So like all these shopping centers right here, there's like Raising Cane's, Wawa, all these shopping centers right here are brand new. And it's really cool. This is one of the original ones, but there is a lot of traffic in this area. It's a little crowded, but I mean, they've really fixed this up. I mean, all these brand new shopping centers to shop. Right over here to this right side, all of that is brand new as well. Longhorn Steakhouse. I mean, pretty much anything and everything you could want as far as like restaurants, shopping, car wash, any like errands you need to run. All of that is going to be here. I think the only thing they don't really have here is like nighttime entertainment. That's about the only thing they're probably missing here. And then right here is another brand new Evergreen Village with Lidl Food Market. You've got LA Fitness, Staples, McDonald's. I mean, pretty much anything and everything that you could ever want in an area, this Liberia area, which everything is like brand new. Mostly on this side of the road, this side it's not, is, you know, they've got pretty much everything in it. Krispy Kreme, I mean, that's a beautiful sight right there when you're a heavy set man like me. But check this out, Texas Roadhouse. Now, if you go left here, Prince William Parkway East, you're gonna go left, that's gonna take you up towards Woodbridge, Virginia, and maybe like Clifton, Virginia, near Fairfax. So you can go left. This is a really busy road here, and a lot of people cut up that way, and then they go, it's about 10-15 miles, I believe. That's where Woodbridge, Virginia, and the east side of the county is. But this is still part of Manassas. I mean, Manassas is huge. Now, if I went right over here, I'm still gonna be back in the city of Manassas, and there's gonna be like the high school and all kinds of different things. But what I'm actually gonna do now is, if you're looking at a map or you check it out, I'm gonna hit up the 234 bypass, and I wanna show you guys the airport, Two Silos, a couple different other spots, and we'll keep this tour going of Manassas. All right, so now we are heading over towards the Prince William County Parkway, and this is the area that I was really excited to show you, and I kind of saved the best for last. There's a lot of construction that's been happening over here, a lot of changes. So there's a lot more like newer housing. And this is gonna be like the Lake Jackson area, which back in the day was like a vacation area. There's like a big dam over here. And this was like, you know, back in the day, sometimes you'll see like a little house for sale in Manassas for like 200 grand, and it's probably a 300 square foot cottage over at Lake Manassas. But I'm not gonna drive down there. It's kind of hard to see from like the view that we have, and you can't use the drone because of the airport. But if I was gonna go left once we got up here, that's where Colgan High School is. It's named after my grandfather. It was really cool. He got to see it before he passed away. They did name it after him. He was a senator, I think 50 years. He was like the longest running senator, #1 in seniority. And so they named that after him. And so that over there, you're gonna see a lot of houses with like 1 acres, 2 acre, no HOA. It's funny, they're called the Colgan Sharks, and it's like a musical school. So they've got like all kinds of different programs. So now we're getting into we're leaving the city of Manassas. We're back over towards Prince William County. So right there's a neighborhood called Coles Run Manor. That neighborhood is gonna be like $800,000 to $900,000 houses, really good location, pretty big, good sized lots, 3-level houses. Most of the houses around here are going to be 3-level with a finished basement. And that neighborhood is obviously huge as well. But this right here used to be a huge traffic nightmare, and they just fixed it all up. There was a stoplight here, and my God, I mean, it was terrible. You can see right here, it says Interstate 66, and that's the way we're gonna go. That actually where I started from, that is gonna take us back to that exit there to go towards 66. So that's actually where we started from. We're not close to it, but that's how we're kind of just making this big loop as I take you guys on this driving tour. So if you went left here, you would end up by Interstate 95. So you would end up by Woodbridge, Virginia, Interstate 95. You go through Manassas, then you hit up the Manassas landfill, but you would end up at Interstate 95, and you could hit that way and go towards Springfield or go Fredericksburg, Virginia. So you can see Manassas is very conveniently located. So all of this right here, I don't even think I've been on this yet. All of this right here is brand new. And I grew up going to the Manassas airport because my family owned an airline. They sold it in the mid 2000s, right over here. So this is why I think you're gonna see huge upside with Manassas, and someone like me that just knows Northern Virginia really well. And if you follow my Instagram at Colgan Team, I know, a shameless plug, I'm always talking about like what's going on in the area, what's happening. And so I was one of the first people they told. This company called Avport is eventually going to have, it would have been done already if we didn't have all the government layoffs, but they're gonna be having commercial air travel. It's gonna be like 12 to 15 flights a day. I think that's gonna be huge for Manassas. I mean, it's gonna be big planes. I mean, we're not talking like little Cessnas. We're talking big planes. This is already a busy airport for private jets and things like that. So this will be a very busy airport. But the cool spot that I wanna show you is there's a really, really good guy. They built a company. They built 2 silos, all the new restaurants over here. And I mean, I think it's like the second or third most visited attraction in all of the state of Virginia, which is just like insane, like how it is. So, all right, so now if I went right here, this would take me back towards the old Town Manassas, and you can see the sign, it says Manassas Museum, but we're gonna hang a left and we're gonna go towards the airport. Now, one of the things that you wanna consider is our area is covered in data centers, and the city owned a lot of this land over here because we're back in Manassas City. They've sold a lot of it off to data center companies. You're gonna be seeing a lot of data centers going up over here because you can already see all the power lines are up for them. We've got Microsoft coming in. They already have a bunch. Meta has a bunch. Google. We're the data center capital of the world, us and Loudoun County. I mean, so you can see the type of power. You can see that one data center straight ahead. And then you can see all the type of power that these things need. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you might be someone who works at a data center. I got some family members that do. So now we're gonna go kind of this back way. So if you're gonna be working for like Aurora Flight Services, this is where you would be working, and then this is gonna be like where the terminal will be for the airport. So they already have one. They built it in the 90s, and they tried to do it just to get some kind of flights going out of there, and it just wasn't profitable for airlines to do. So what they're actually gonna do is they're gonna start at the old original terminal, and then they're gonna keep building onto it, adding onto it, making it like bigger and bigger eventually as they get more airlines that come in And I did an interview with AvPorch, really awesome company. And like I said, I think it'll be starting in 2026. I actually wrote them today and asked them for an update. But now you can see all the trailers, Cloud HQ for the data centers. So right here, straight ahead, you've got the original terminal. So this is gonna be where the actual new terminal will start. And it's gonna be cool. Like, you're gonna be able to literally pull up your car. There's not gonna be it's gonna be one big, huge parking lot. I don't think they're gonna have a garage. You're gonna pull up your car, be able to swing around right here. And I mean, park. You can jump on a plane to Houston, Texas, maybe even, Orlando, Florida, Miami, New York. I mean, they're gonna be going a lot of destinations. So, I mean, you're gonna be able to pull up your car here, jump on an airplane. You're not gonna have to go to DCA. You're not gonna have to go to Dallas or BWI. That's what I'm really gonna love about this. This is where I think the biggest upside is for Manassas, is the fact that it's just gonna change the game for local businesses, because you're gonna be able to bring in a lot more high paying jobs because, hey, look, you know what? You can jump on a plane and be back in New York City in a couple hours or two or whatever, short flight. And Manassas Airport is not Dallas. You're not gonna get on a tram or a people mover, or it's not DCA where it's just completely crowded, So I think once that happens, that's gonna be a game changer for Manassas. I'm really, really excited about that. And just a little history about me. My dad owned Leidos, is located there now. They're a great company as well. You might be working from them if you're watching. My dad owned some of these hangars here, and that's where my family's company was, right over here at the Manassas. Still says Colgan Air on the side of it. They haven't changed the sign yet. It's been about 20 years since he sold that thing. So yeah, they still haven't even changed the sign. So here's Aurora Flight Services as well. So that's another big company. I believe they're owned by Boeing. Now, I'm not gonna show you guys, just for the mere fact there's not really anything to see, but literally 1 mile away on my left is the VRE station. And it's called the Bristow or Broad Run Station, I believe. And that is actually where a lot of people that live in Haymarket, Bristow, or Gainesville actually end up catching that VRE train. So definitely keep that in mind. And guys, we're gonna keep going on this tour of beautiful Manassas, Virginia. All right, so now if you're gonna be working for Micron, which a lot of my buyers do, I'm gonna show you guys Micron. Right here, these are like townhome condos. You've got a brand new Hilton hotel. This was the old DMV. They actually moved here recently. So there's a lot of development that's gonna be happening here as well. A lot more housing. And if I went right here, I would end up, there's a neighborhood called Wellington that's really popular in the city of Manassas that has townhomes and single families, but I would also end up back into Old Town Manassas. And if I was to go right at the end where the stoplight is, that's gonna take me right back into Old Town Manassas. If I go straight, that's gonna take me, if you guys remember, where the Manassas Mall is. So a lot going on over here, but to my right here, we're gonna just head back up. This is gonna be the heading back towards Old Town Manassas, but if you were to work for them, on the left is going to be Micron. And that's, like I said, there's baseball fields there. They bought all of that. So all of that is getting extended. There's gonna be tons of jobs coming with that. I think they got like 1.5 billion or something they're putting into that facility. So that's gonna be huge for jobs, right? Like just having that huge advantage with like the microchips and all of that, which I'm just not sure exactly what they do, but all right, so I'm gonna keep going on. We're almost done. I know you got your popcorn almost out, or if you're drinking while you're watching this wine, you might be passed out, but we're almost done. Let's keep going on this tour of Manassas. I wanna show you guys like 2 more spots and then we're almost done. All right, so now we're coming up, we're on Wellington Road. I had to go around. There was actually a big funeral procession, but again, as you can tell, big data center coming in right here. Not the most prettiest buildings, but a bunch of them are coming in. Wow. So right over here, it's gonna be like the police station, but I wanna show you guys George Mason University. There's another data center going in right there. Like I told you guys, these data centers are getting in. That's why there's so much construction happening. But what I wanna show you guys is going to be like, there's a big town center coming in for the students at George Mason University. And like I said, right here is the Prince William County Police. Really good police force, really good people. Had a couple of family members that were police officers with Prince William that have since retired. So yeah, this is going to be the Freedom Center Boulevard. We're going to head back over to the 234 bypass, but again, you can see all these data centers to the left, but really cool. Like over here, you've got, there's gonna be George Mason University. There's a lot of like laboratory science buildings around here. One of my good friends, Austin Haynes, he's like involved with that, and they build a lot of laboratories over here that you can work out of. And so there's a bunch of companies that are gonna be based over here that do that type of work, which I literally know nothing about. I'm more of a real estate guy, but what we're gonna do now is show you guys, like, look, so right here, George Mason University. So like, just show you guys like how diverse of an area it is. Like, here's a huge college. And so the best part about this college, they have a statue of my grandfather, the Colgan Hall. They have a building named after my grandfather here as well. And they have a beautiful performing arts center called Hilton Performing Arts Center. And there's a lot of like opera shows, bands that go in and out of there. So right there, Senator J. Colgan Hall. You probably can't see it from the GoPro, but see all the students walking around. It's actually a building named after my grandfather. Like I said, he was really big into education. So there's just a ton of people. You got the George Mason bus there. So right up here, this is Discovery Hall. This is all going to connect to a big new town center area. And I kind of just want to show you guys this George Mason campus a little bit more. But this is all going to connect, and there's going to be all kinds of like housing, student housing, shopping, dining, just like all kinds of different things. There's going to be a big like town center with an outdoor theater that's going to be over to the left. You probably can't see it at the moment, but they're building all these brand new townhomes over here. And so it's going to be like really spectacular. So right here is this Hilton Performing Arts Center. Really beautiful building, like really artsy, just a really cool spot to go. When my grandfather retired, every living governor from Virginia came, and they had a party for him, and Senator Kane and Mark Warner came as well. It was like really great to my family. So right here you've got some student housing, and you've got some shopping. All right, so now I'm gonna go out of here. We're almost done with our tour, and I wanna show you guys some really cool stuff over here. Just someone who really, I pretty much know everywhere at Northern Virginia like this. So like I said, if you're thinking about buying a house, definitely hit us up. Me and my team, we have a huge team of agents that work for us. We would love to, be your agent of choice. All right, so now we're gonna pull over here to the Stanley Martin. This is gonna be all brand new with the town center area, the student housing. You can see all these brand new townhomes coming in, really beautiful neighborhood. They've already got some people moving into them. Awesome location, because you're right here next to George Mason University. And then on this side, this is called Innovation. It's gonna be called Innovation Station. They've got the sign there. They've already got all kinds of construction going on. You've got pool, pickleball, dog park, just anything and everything that that you could want. And so I'm kind of just going to take you guys over as we end this. I want to show you guys Two Silos, Malarkey, Proof Bar, one of the most popular hangouts. I mean, you'll be shocked. Like, people literally will come from far away to come visit this place that they ended up building over here. And then there's also the FBI's field office that is right here. So this 234 bypass, this can get a little busy, but it's an innovation park right here. They're trying to put in some stoplights. Part of the problem is when you're right over here, there's a Wellington area, and there's a lot of like industrial park, and then there's Jiffy Lube Live, the concert venue. So especially if there is a concert, man, it just gets crowded over here. So this is gonna be Discovery Boulevard, all kinds of stuff over here. To my left, you've got the FBI field office, and I've worked with a lot of FBI people as well. We're gonna hang a left, and if I went straight, you would end up in Bristow, Virginia. And maybe one day, Bristow's just not that big. So if you weren't gonna do Manassas, I would consider like Centerville for Fairfax. And then you've got Haymarket, Gainesville, Bristow. and all of those kind of connect. Bristow is going to be probably a little bit more expensive than Manassas, but Bristow is a good spot as well. They pretty much connect. So right here you've got Sweeney Barn, and that's like a special event center. They do weddings, all kinds of different things, and you've got like all kinds of like these laboratory style buildings and offices. So there's just all kinds of different jobs here in Manassas, and you can see like all this open space they have as well, and there's just so much upside. And the company that built a lot of this is called, I guess it's called a wet lab. So if you're some Bellagio, they're actually the company that's doing a lot of this. So you've got the brand new hotel coming in. You've got already 2 silos, and then Black Sheep, which is like one of my favorite restaurants. And then they just put in Malarkey Brewery as well, and then another bar that's really awesome called Proof Bar. So looking straight ahead, there's an airport. I can literally see a plane taking off in front of me. To my right, I could go and end up towards Route 28, towards Bristow, Virginia. This spot right here, super popular area. There's all kinds of construction, a lot of growth going on here that Bellagio group is doing. I don't know, it's called, they changed the name to Nova Live. And so this is gonna be a Tempo by Hilton, brand new restaurant, and they're gonna have, brand new hotel, and they're also gonna have a speakeasy in there as well. I definitely would check that out. So Nova Live, extremely popular location here. The weekends, it's just packed. They got like a concert venue here, bands come in, all kinds of different things coming on, and the owners are really good people. Met them a few times. I came to their media night here, and they're just really, really good people. So yeah, this is Nova Live, and then there's the barn, and the yard where they play the music and everything in 2 silos. So really good spot. I think I'm gonna end it on this, guys. My voice is about shot. So I hope you really enjoyed this tour of Manassas. As you can tell, I've got a lot of family history here, but I pretty much know everywhere and anywhere in the Manassas area. One thing I will tell you, if you're a viewer watching and you're thinking about moving here, or maybe you got a job here, a lot of people do start in Manassas and then they go further out west to like a Front Royal, or maybe they go more east towards Arlington and Fairfax. But we're gonna keep dropping these videos. Hit that subscribe button, and if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, we would love to work with you. Thanks, guys. We'll see you at the top or from the top. Woo!